that alligator blood can't get rid of him.
I'm not going anywhere. I'm double the blind.
Okay. I call.
Check.
$2,000.
Alright, I'll call it $2,000. I'll gamble. Don't splash the pot.
You're on a draw, Mike? Go away. This one is not good for you. And in my club, I will splash the pot whenever the fuck I please.
Okay. I'm gonna check, Daddy.
That's right. Big Daddy. Bets the pot.
It's 4,400. Alright, I'm gonna call you, or else I won't respect myself tomorrow morning.
Respect is all you have left in the morning. Last card coming.
Check.
It hurts, doesn't it? You can't believe what fell. All your dreams, dust. Hops down the fucking drain. Your fate is sitting right beside you. That ace could not have helped you. I bet it all.
You're right, Daddy. The ace didn't help me. I flopped the nut straight.
Motherfucker! You fool your nut! Motherfucker! That is it!
That's it. What the fuck you talking about? That's it. Take him down, Daddy.
Yet! No more! No, not tonight! This son of bitch all night, he... Chick! He trapped me!
Well, you feeling satisfied now, Teddy? Because I can go on busting you up all night.
Yet!
So, basically, this
bit.
movie scene is me and the dollar yen. Not the dollar yen, the Aussie Kiwi today. Oh my god. Troll Central. Alright, so, a bit of background. We've been looking at this, talking about this a lot. Talking how Aussie's got a little bit of upside. The neutral setting by the RBA is going to support a potential normalization here of this price, because it's really all-time, near all-time lows anyway for the Aussie Kiwi. And we started the day above 105, near 104, 105.50. Just as the breakout levels, right? And momentum was sort of on the side of the Aussie because a couple of things. Mainly, we had opened the week below the range, right? So the market had been broken range to the downside, then it turned out to be a false, came back up, and then we'd started rallying. And usually when this happens, this is the real break. Sort of catch the market wrong-footed. All the technical traders like, oh wow, what's going on here? And so, I was expected, but we would rally up, break that 105.50, and we would get that continuation maybe to 106.50 at least. Now, everything was looking great, everything was good. Then at the start of the Aussie session, we got S&P putting the Australia on the downgrade, negative watch for downgrade from its AAA rating. AAA rating is huge for Aussie. Okay, it's not not a small thing. Um, but you know, it's not a downgrade, so it's like, well, you know, maybe the market can recover from this. But that was already a warning sign, and I sort of was like, oh damn it, you know, maybe this time we'll just go back into range. So I got out of most of my Aussie Kiwi longs, but it did actually start bouncing back up. This was not a straight line actually. This took a couple of minutes, so I was able to get out above 105. When it bounced back up, I'm like, well, okay, you know, Aussie's showing strength. It's just being bought on the dip. Also, the Aussie dollar was being bought on the dip. You know, everything's still the same. It was just a little speed bump. Okay, coming up in a couple of hours, got this big speech from the RBNZ assistant governor. He's going to be speaking about housing loan limitations. Right, once you got the loan limitations in, the RBNZ can then cut rates. So there's this whole like expectation, and a lot of the price action on the way up here yesterday was in anticipation that today we're going to get this new signal from the RBNZ that they were clamping down on loans to house buyers. With that, you can allow to cut rates so that there's not too much pressure on the top side of the housing prices. So it's basically they can't cut rates at the moment because you know they've got a housing bubble over there in Kiwi land. So if they do some macro prudential things to try and slow down the housing market, then they can cut rates and not have the bubble get out of control. Anyway, expectations were greatly wrong. They came out and he said that something was planned along the line, but nothing at the moment. So the market's caught wrong-footed. You saw a pretty sharp rally here in the Kiwi as he failed to deliver anything concrete. Basically, put it back about 6 months. All right, so this smashed the Aussie back well back into the range. Actually, took it down to the bottom end of its range. It's looking pretty dicey here. I've been buying this range all last month, and this is incredible for this pair to be such a tight range for the whole month, all the way back since what, 8th, the 9th of June that we've been in this range, so nearly a whole month now. I probably won't buy this one. Okay, I mean, I've got a couple of old longs anyway and a few accounts that leads me long, but I know I've been buying, you know, towards that 104.30 a lot in the past, but I don't like this one. This has sort of negated all the positivity, I'm just defeated, right? Do you like that rounder scene? I'm like, that's it, all right, I'm not playing you anymore. You've beaten me. Give that man his money. So the Aussie Kiwi, I'm going to wait for some sort of other catalyst to get that rally. You know, if we get back above 105.50, then, you know, we can talk about buying again. Let's not try and be heroes and pick the bottom. There is still divergence here in the central bank policy, so there is a chance that we do go lower. All right, so it's too risky for me to just rely on faith that they're eventually going to break this up topside. So yeah, let's look for something else. In terms of the pound's reaction, the pound's actually in play right now. Pound's come back up, tested 130 last night, tested 130 again during the US session, came back down, trundled around in Asia, came back up, been testing it again a few times. This looks pretty likely that we're going above, right? Sellers really have lost a little bit of oomph, and you're seeing that the stock markets are quite strong here at the open. So that means that you get a bit of pound yen buying. Alright, so keep an eye on this. Keep an eye on what's going on. Oil, usual suspects rallying. Alright, so in this scenario here, this leads to the short squeeze in the pound. Unless something new comes out. We've had the reaction to the UK property funds being halted, but it has to be something new, right? To get the market then focus on the downside. And I'm not saying that we're going up a lot, but, you know, take out a little bit of trailing stops all the way maybe to, you know, maybe 131. Alright, but then definitely you've got downside bearishness in the market at the moment, so the next shoe to drop could roll us over. So just keep an eye on the stocks. If you see any sharp selling in stocks or oil, you know, might be the time to hop into pound yen selling. But dollar yen's been caught up a little bit as well, so, you know, these are the if you had to pick six charts, then these 6 can do you quite well. Yeah. This is Euro hidden behind here, and this is Dow Jones. So let's see here. I think we are going to head higher here in the DAX. And anyway, oil plays into that. So does the pound. You know, when you don't have heavy selling in either of those, it's hard to get the heavy selling in DAX. So we'll see though. I mean, DAX did this yesterday. That was at the open, literally similar opening hour. So this is you know, we have to break above 95 to keep this going, but that would move to 9600 would open up the door with pound to 131. Dollar yen maybe a little bit of a rally. It's not really got much motivation at the moment, but yeah, also plays along with the oil rally. Dollar yen and euro really have gone to sleep lately, so let's just ignore those maybe. In that scenario, the best pair to be trading that I just described is short dollar CAD. Already moving pretty sharply lower in the last 24 hours. Definitely it's got room to move though, so just keep that in mind. If you're looking for a trade, don't buy the Aussie, I suppose. I mean, Aussie's looking alright, but you got that problem with the downgrade to or negative watch on AAA rating that the US traders haven't reacted to, so they could be more negative towards it. I mean, the Asian traders didn't care so much, but the US traders might. And there's no reason, right, to pick Aussie over CAD at the moment. Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with straight long Kiwi as well. I just don't have that one up at the moment on these charts. Alright, so straight long Kiwi is not too bad an issue, not too bad a trade too. I mean, it seems high, but it's got a lot of momentum now. Yeah, it's buying dips basically. All right, rant over for that particular pair, for the Aussie Kiwi. God, so many. I literally gave the update on long Aussie Kiwi in the last month to about 30 clients. So I was believing my own rubbish, right? Not own rubbish, right? I was zooped up, right? Buy Aussie Kiwi, go along. And so many clients are calling me today saying, yeah, look, it looks great. And within 2 hours, it's like, bang, back down, what's going on? So it's really annoying. But that happens in the markets, right? No one expects the unexpected stuff. Oi, so trendline, you saying you got low mic, mate? Are you sure? I haven't changed any setting, buddy. Alright, what about that? How's that feel? Tell me if that improves it. So how would I characterize what's going on here? It's a bearish sort of market, and we're having a little bit of a relief rally. Alright, so don't get too carried away with the long sides, but yeah, net a little bit short, net a little bit long, sorry, can probably pay off here. Alright. Yeah, well, maybe just turn them up, Trevor. I'll have a listen to it later and see if I can hear what you're saying, mate. So, let's have a look at the checks on from Credit Suisse. Nice text. They like to put them out there. That's a bit easier to read. Have a look at the RBNZ speech so you know what I'm talking about a little bit more. Don't be afraid of going in depth when you're trading. Yeah, I mean, some traders don't like to do that, but there's no harm in really getting to know your pair. We do a lot of nothing when we're trading. There's nothing wrong with learning something new, trying to do look at the fundamentals behind a currency, or maybe learn a new technical system. Sitting there watching charts, maybe sometimes it leads to overwatching. Oh, good early morning read. Haven't read this early morning read for a while. This is a good analyst from Deutsche Bank. Alright, a little bit of research here. Before we do that research though, we'll just quickly go over a couple of trades that have been posted in the trading room. Let's see how we're looking here. Dollar CAD long. No, that goes against the oil rally and the stock rally. What are we doing that for, Slick? Huh? What level did you get in at? 129. You got a limit order. Okay. Yeah, maybe, right? But it'll be circumstantial. Is that a limit order, or that's just a wrong entry? I think you just put down the wrong entry there. Trendline trader, short euro, don't mind that. The euro should be a lot higher. It's been struggling, yeah. You got to remember though, we do have ADP later. ADP's the pre-NFP report. You get the market expectations for the NFP the next day, so you don't want to be too aggressive positioning wise. Sell some euro. We're in at 66. Alright, we got a bit higher. Stop at 10. No TP. Let's just put one in anyway. Low down. Euro pound short. Yeah, well, we're already in that trade. I'm going to be in this Euro pound short trade for probably a few months. So let's not have to get more heavy exposed here. So this should go down if they're back towards these sort of levels, 84-ish, 84, low 84s, if the pound breaks 130. Okay, which is sort of gearing up to do at the moment. So that little short squeeze that's potentially coming here will give us an opportunity to minimize exposure on the euro pound. We've got no business being heavy short this. This is more, I don't know what this trade is, a board trade, I suppose. I mean, getting excited that the market's at really good levels, but it's showed no signs of turning over yet. So, I don't know how to explain it. It's like buying dollar yen at 100, right? It's a good level, but the market's at 98, and you're like, oh, what am I going to do? Shouldn't really have been in at 100, but probably get out of it at some point. Alright, so, you know, but it is not good habits, right? If you end up trading big, you don't want to just give money away. But yeah, euro pound should be down in low 84s if we do break that 130, so I'm up for that, because I have a fair bit of exposure actually on some other accounts. Not at bad levels actually, and so I've got in at 86 a little bit as well. So just sort of waiting for these pullbacks, and then just not really buying, not really going long to counter, just waiting for the new highs to sell into again. It's relatively predictable in terms of its retracements, the euro pound, so it's not a bad little pair. But yeah, we do have to be careful going into NFP as well. So, but that's something we'll talk about tomorrow. Gold run out of steam a little because the stock market's reversed. So when you have these short squeezes in the stocks, that's when you have the market pulling back. All right. So the stock market rallies are the enemy of the gold rally at the moment. It's not stopping it. It's not really reversing it too much, but it's slowing it down, and you're getting these pullbacks. But really, I think we'd want to be buying anyway towards 55. So if we can get in, where was this size? You know, get in again. Maybe it dips down, takes a few little light trailing stops out. But, you know, any sort of next dip down I think is pretty good risk reward. The stuff that's developing in the UK looks pretty messy, and it doesn't look like it's going to be resolved anytime soon. And the way it unravels, the way it unfolds, it's more likely to be negative than positive, right? So it's just a matter of time. As the negative news flows, more and more things fall over. I mean, bear markets are where you find the rubbish in the market. So people who have been cooking books, people who have been faking results, they get found out when the markets turn, when there's a bit of risk off and everyone's analysing the downside rather than the top side. A fair bit of that happened in the 2008 crash. Alright, so where were we? Back to a couple of trades. That was a nice trade on the Aussie. If you got filled or you didn't get filled. Okay, you probably didn't get filled. Yeah, I mean, I'm not totally hardcore about buying it, but I'm rather buy than sell their wings, so I might just leave that. Actually, I'll leave the rest of the trades at the moment. Short Euro Aussie is not a bad trade, but you're dealing a little bit with the stock market, and the levels are not great. If you got in earlier on the spike, that would have been pretty good, but yeah, it's getting a little stretched. You've missed the easy money in this trade. And this particular trade, like the Euro Aussie, when it snaps really quickly higher. So, you know, you're almost asking to be stopped out when you're selling towards these key sort of levels, 145 to 144. And it's how much is the market going to run ahead of this? You know, you need a really big stock market rally to sort of get this, and I don't think we're going to get the Aussie shrugging off that negativity today so quickly. And you know, you have the NFP tomorrow, so it just doesn't make sense. The timing of the trade for me right here, I'm not chasing. But he got in at a much better level, didn't he? Well, a little bit better level. So yeah, Euro Aussie is definitely a sell, but just wait for above 148 at least. Yeah, that's right, Demon. Trading is easy, mate. That's why everyone. That's why everyone makes money, mate. Just, you know, look for the fakies. Look for the pin bars. Trade naked. Trading's easy, mate. Nah, we shouldn't pay out Knifefuller. I mean, in terms of internet marketing, ultra successful. And very early on, he saw the potential in the teaching of trading. And look, you have to keep it pretty simple, right, to sell to the masses. So that's what he's done. And he made it as simple as possible without being completely ridiculous. So yeah, I mean, obviously at big levels you get reversal candles. Yeah, when trend changes you get reversal channels. But, you know, I mean, he's not really teaching anything, if that makes sense. It's like, you know, it's just a collection of common sense trading rules put together. No, I'm not saying he's not good at trading, but you know what I mean? Like selling the stuff he sells for $300 is a bit rich. And you find me a verified trading record of him, right? That's all we want. We don't want much. But hats off to him. I mean, he's probably one of the most successful internet salesmen out there in FX. He makes much more money off his IB agreements with the brokers than he does from selling his training as well. But he's not, what he's selling is not wrong too much as well. Like you read his stuff and it makes sense, but it's just not holy grail stuff. Anton Creel. Ask Nick about Anton Creel. Let's just say that they're not friends anymore. Yeah, Aussie, I mean, this is constructive, right? All of this price action is constructive. The Bears have an argument, the Bulls have an argument. I'm just more bullish than bearish. I think the easiest way here is for US dollar weakness and stock markets being stable and oil being stable, and I think that just helps Aussie. So that's, maybe I'm too optimistic, yeah? Don't see the bearishness coming. New Zealand dollar, that one has got potential, I think, top side here. Maybe 74, 75 very soon. Can you imagine tomorrow if there's a weak NFP number? It's just going to be ridiculous, right? These guys are thinking very similar to me. Aussie outperform and Aussie Kiwi buying dips. But, yeah, I'm a little bit hesitant these days. Next week, yeah, we'll probably be Aussie Bulls next week, no matter what. So we'll get back into it next week. Alright, so those who are worried about New Zealand economics, so yeah, the market got ahead of itself basically. That's what this little line is talking about here. See what they're saying here is they don't want to cut anymore. OCR is the interest rate. Alright, so let's finish up with the old mate Reed. So this is a very good read. He's always on point with what is important. Yeah. That's why it's like the most widely read early morning piece by, you know, large investors. See that little line there? That's very important. Alright, so if this banks get into trouble, then the banks can't lend, right? So Deutsche Bank's in trouble a little bit. The banks can't lend. If the banks can't lend, they can't get the expansionary monetary policy they want from having these ultra low interest rates and bonds that, you know, buying bonds to keep the rates low for longer. I mean, they're basically keeping corporate bonds low via the you know, the actual interest rate, right? By keeping the government bonds low. But they can't They can't force people to lend money. Like Japan just didn't work, right? It's not like there's anyone but the banks lending. There's no one but the banks. So if the banks are in trouble, they can't lend, and then they... See, banks are getting just smashed lately. Let me find a Deutsche Bank chart for you. I don't know what those little shots are. They're not real. Jesus Christ, happens all the time though. Alright, so this is Deutsche Bank since... what, 2006, 2014? Alright, so they're in serious trouble here. How did it go in the financial crisis? Jesus, so they're lower than in the financial crisis. Alright, so... if you don't know, now you know. There's some issues over there in the banking area. Sometimes trade DAX with the Deutsche Bank actually. Yeah, that's just bad data, that's not real. That little line in the middle. Yes, a really strong services ISM from the US yesterday. That's interesting, right? And perhaps the US economy isn't as weak. New orders were very strong too. Yeah, we'll go into depth about the NFP tomorrow, guys, but I think anything below 100k is going to be really bad for the US. I don't really think that the street expects what they say they expect, like a 180k or something. Let's see if it's been updated. No, so it's 174k now, but yeah, I don't really think anyone would be, you know, unhappy with 150. But yeah, let's look at what happens with the ADP today. If that comes in pretty weak, then I think the whole market will start to lower the expectations too. But yeah, other than that, just keep watching this oil rally, watching this DAX attempt to rally, watching 130 with the pound. That'd be the catalyst probably for a little push higher on the DAX too. But other than that, you haven't got too much in play right now. Yeah, revisions. I mean, the revisions cause the whippiness in the market. So if you get revisions that last month wasn't as terrible as they forecast, then as it came out with, then you might see the market go down, then back up, right? That's what causes that big flip around. I know the market's more ready to sell the US dollar than they are to buy it. Yeah, I'm not a total news junkie, but I do use it a lot, Jacob. So it depends. I'd say 20% technical, 30% fundamental, 50% price action and sentiment, and just sort of knowing the games that are played in FX, right? Knowing you can sort of feel sometimes when it's a short squeeze, rather than real buying. You can sort of feel sometimes when it's panic selling, especially like the dollar yen if you get used to how it moves. And dollar yen gives like 3 or 4 good opportunities where it's moved 300 or 400 points in an hour, that that the bounce back is always going to be 200 points. If it's just risk off because of stock markets and breaking technical levels and lack of liquidity, yeah. So that sort of thing repeats itself a lot, but that comes with market experience and market watching, 30, 40 dollar yen, plunges, how it responds and what's sort of safe, how far it can move, yeah. I mean, nothing beats screen time, but at the end of the day, the main reason people aren't good traders, the main reason people don't make money is that they're too emotional. Alright, boys. This is no questions. I think that's enough for today. We'll be back tomorrow with a big NFP preview. If you do have any questions or want me to just go over something specific next time, just PM me and I'll attempt to do it.
Good morning. Good morning. Funny, isn't it? Funny, isn't it? Thank you very much for that very warm welcome. How things have changed.
Eine Sekunde bitte.
Just a second, Mr. Farage.
Kolleginnen und Kollegen,
Ladies and gentlemen,
eine große Qualität der Demokratie
one
ist,
major
dass man auch
quality
denen
of
zuhört,
democracy is that you listen
deren Meinung man nicht
to
teilt.
those, even if you don't share their opinion.
Well, thank you, Mr. Schultz. Isn't it funny? You know, when I came here 17 years ago, and I said that I wanted to lead a campaign to get Britain to leave the European Union, you all laughed at me. Well, I have to say, you're not laughing now, are you? And the reason you're so upset, the reason you're so angry, has been perfectly clear from all the angry exchanges this morning. You, as a political project, are in denial. You're in denial that your currency is failing. You're in denial. Well, just look at the Mediterranean. No. As a policy to impose poverty on Greece and the rest of the Mediterranean, you've done very well. And you're in denial over Mrs. Merkel's call last year for as many people as possible to cross the Mediterranean into the European Union has led to massive divisions between countries and within countries. But the biggest problem you've got, and the main reason the United Kingdom voted the way that it did, is you have, by stealth, by deception, without ever telling the truth to the British or the rest of the peoples of Europe, you have imposed upon them a political union. You've imposed upon them a political union. And when the people in 2005 in the Netherlands and France voted against that political union, when they rejected the Constitution, you simply ignored them and brought the Lisbon Treaty in through the back door. What happened last Thursday was a remarkable result. It was indeed a seismic result, not just for British politics, for European politics, but perhaps even for global politics too, because what the little people did, what the ordinary people did, what the people who have been oppressed over the last few years and seen their living standards go down, they rejected the multinationals, they rejected the merchant banks, they rejected big politics, and they said, actually, we want our country back, we want our fishing waters back, we want our borders back, we want to be an independent
Farage broke my computer. So the reason I started back up the stream though is that there's the test happening here of 1:30. So let's sort of analyze how that's going, right?
Forex Signals, the world's most profitable Forex resource. Forex Signals, the world's most profitable Forex resource.
So this potential here, this break here is going to be key.
Forex Signal.
It's being a little bit coy, isn't it? A little bit sheepish. It'd be nice to see a more impulsive break here, so we can get a bit more follow through. Could be a non-event. But yeah, so this is probably the most important part of the day, what's happening in the next 10-15 minutes. I suspect we're going to 131, and stocks and oil higher. But it's you know, price action is a little bit dull. Alright guys, well good luck with your trading. I'll be in the chat room for a little while. I'll just leave the pound there going for a second, and then I'll see if it breaks, and I'll come in and have a little chat with you about it. Yeah, I think the market knows we're watching it, right? It's being a little bit cheeky. A little bit cheeky. Yeah, maybe if we stop watching it, it will go up. We're interfering with the results of the experiment. Yeah. Our quantum effects of observation are just weighing it down. They reckon panic, Potter, if Deutsche Bank breaks 10, there'll be panic. And it could be the catalyst, right? So, let's see. Not too far away, actually. What was it, 11 or something? Looks like it's not going to go ballistic, so we'll end the stream there. Make sure you're around tomorrow at 9 GMT. We will go through what's going on with the NFP, go through some previews, go through some scenarios, price action scenarios, and what to look for. Yeah, it's not as simple as it used to be. You know, bad is good, but good for the for the pairs to go higher, right? But also might end up being good for stocks as well in the current market. So it helps solidify Fed expectations if it's weak, and that could help stocks rally in a perverse sort of way. But most important is just to watch the price action on the night, right? Really bad numbers and stocks rally anyway. That's what the game's playing, and that gives the Aussie rally double impetus. Stock market's high and a weak US dollar. Also, the relief rally that would come from that would give a really good selling opportunity on the pound. So you might get the pound to say 132 to 133 as it really blasts higher on a weak number from the NFP. But then when you're looking how to play a pair, then you're looking at that fading that rally from the pound. So that would be the one of the game plans we'll talk about tomorrow.